What's up? What's going on? Hi, I'm Reed. It's cold outside. I think this morning is maybe like 6 degrees Fahrenheit or something. It's pretty cold. And it's cold all over the United States right now. Even in Texas, I saw in Louisiana they have snow on the ground. It's kind of strange, but hopefully you're inside. Hopefully you're warm. Hopefully you're comfortable. Just wanted to talk about comfort zones and reading comfort zones. What is your reading comfort zone? I think a lot of the booktube channels in general focus on like a certain type of books, something that the reader and the viewer are into, kind of genre specific type of reading. I'm not really, I mean, I have genres that I like and prefer, but I, if at all possible, like to expand that. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up some books that were outside of my comfort zone. I read them, and now I'm very comfortable reading this kind of stuff. So way back when, before I started the channel, I was coming out of like a reading slump of like years. Basically, I basically read maybe 2 or 3 books a year, and like very specific kind of books, either nonfiction, always nonfiction, but it would be like spirituality or kind of something like a cult or something like that. I wasn't. I was like reading for information mostly. I wasn't really reading for pleasure or entertainment or yeah. Anyway, so I was like, well, let me try to read comic books because it's been a long time. I never really got into comic books when I was younger. I always wanted to, but I didn't have the money for it. And so after buying about 2 of those big long white boxes, those banker boxes full of comic books, I was just not feeling it. So I decided, oh, let me try this Japanese style comics manga. I was like hesitant to do that because I didn't like a lot of the stereotypes and the themes of the books, which was really just a misconception on my part because like what's kind of shown is not really what is. Yeah, just like in anything else, the reality of something is different than the outer appearance. So one of the first manga authors I really got into is Junji Ito, Tomy, and yeah, from here I just kind of took off, read all kinds of different stuff. I didn't like the idea of like reading manga and stuff because I thought it was like kind of like childish, and when it wasn't childish, it was like perverted. But I didn't really get that feeling from these books. They were like dark and scary and yeah, and heavy. I like heavy stuff, so yeah, it's Tomy. And it's even got a little Tomy banner back there if you're wondering what that creepy lady is. So yeah, and then I read lots and lots of manga. Maybe for like a year or so, I'd just come home and read. I had like some physical injuries at the time, so I was just relaxing and drinking coffee and reading these Japanese comic books. That's where a lot of my money and free time was going towards. It was a good time. And then I started seeing that they had these. They call them light novels, and it's kind of serialized kind of stuff, and also Japanese, and kind of like how in America we have the pulp tradition. That's what these like Japanese light novels are similar to. And at first I wasn't interested in them again because of the themes and stuff. It was like I'm just wasn't feeling it, and then I finally picked one up and started reading it and then realized, oh, there's lots of different ones. I still am not very knowledgeable about light novels. I have a couple that I want to read this year. This one is Vampire Hunter D, one of the more famous ones. There's a really cool anime. Demon Death Chase. I ended up liking this series a lot. So, yeah. And yeah, like I think this series in particular has like 20, almost 30 different volumes. So, yeah, it's kind of like pulp kind of adventures, and yeah, it's cool. It's fun. It's exciting, and for me, it's comfortable now. So, manga, light novels. After that, after a year of reading that kind of stuff, I wanted to get more serious. I bought some philosophy stuff because normally I would, like I said, I was just reading like kind of religious, spiritual, maybe sometimes occult kind of things, and so I wanted to be more grounded, and so I picked up just different popular philosophy books, to get a good strong base. I got a bunch that I knew I wasn't going to be able to understand. This is a pretty plain one, to be honest. Like if you want to, this is kind of necessary, but yeah, the language isn't too veiled in this one, but all over the place. I bought different philosophy books, some that I couldn't read, some that were like pretty easy to read. I got like different political philosophy stuff. I don't have a lot of it anymore, but I kept what I really enjoyed. I gave away some of what I really enjoyed, but anyway. Yeah, I read a lot of philosophy. That was like another year, maybe a year and a half. And yeah, now it's something that I'm comfortable reading. I can read almost any kind of philosophy without it being too daunting. Yeah, my favorites, I can go back and read some of them, and they're comfort to me now. They're in my comfort zone. Before they were big scary books with challenging ideas. Now they're just books with challenging ideas I find comforting. Okay. So after a year and a half of taking myself way too seriously, I think, yeah, this is like when I started the channel. I wanted to read just more kind of, enjoyable leisure type fiction, or just fiction in general, I guess. And after watching a lot of different booktube channels, at first I didn't know it was booktube, but yeah, I was watching a lot of different channels. I realized, well, maybe I want to make a channel. That would be a good way to get more reading done. And then I was like, well, what am I going to read? And then I just felt like, as an American especially, that Westerns were not getting enough attention. So I started reading Westerns. I probably read a couple. I did read a couple before this, but for the most part, Western genre is brand new to me. I have a lot of different Westerns now. That's what I'm primarily interested in at the moment. And I wouldn't say I was uncomfortable reading them, but that was something that I didn't see myself reading. I didn't expect that I would enjoy them so much. I didn't expect that my library would primarily be Westerns at any point. But yeah, here we are. That's definitely my big comfort read at the moment. So yeah, Westerns. And then this one took me by surprise. This is more recent. I'm kind of prude, to be honest. I'm not like, I'm kind of a private person. So I didn't think I would enjoy erotic fiction at all. Turns out I do enjoy erotic fiction quite a bit. And this one mixes Western and erotica, and I really just love these Gunsmith books. They're so much fun. Can't wait to read more of them. So that got me, and just Westerns in general got me thinking, oh, maybe I should read some romance, because like Westerns, it's a big, like once you start reading Westerns, the amount of fiction that's available to you is overwhelming. You'll never be able to read all of them. It's not like, there's a lot of sci-fi books, there's a lot of fantasy and stuff, but I just feel like Western genre is enormous. I don't know how in such a short period of time that happened, but it did. And then same thing with romance. Like, it's kind of mind-blowing how many just romance titles there are. And even if you've been to lots of used bookstores like I had, until you start picking up the romance books and looking at the different authors, you don't even realize how many of them there are. It's overwhelming. This is the first one I picked up. It had three shorter stories in it. It was all right. But yeah, it got me. I was very uncomfortable reading a romance book, to be honest. I guess this is a contemporary romance. And if that made me uncomfortable, well, this one definitely made me uncomfortable. And maybe you saw my review that I did recently for this book, Haunting Adeline. This is dark romance. And yeah, I think from here I'm going to go back to reading things that make me a little bit more comfortable, because this was overwhelming. You could go watch my review for it. But I'd be curious what kind of books are in your comfort zone. What kind of books did you find uncomfortable to read, but then now that's what you're all about? You could let me know in the comments if you feel comfortable doing so. If you're still hanging out here, you might as well subscribe, hit the bell. I did that in real life. And yeah, until next time, find somewhere to hide, find something to read. Peace.